Oh, Joe, oh, Joe, your hair is dead, and what you reckon that you'll be dead, and blessed be the name of the Lord. Rock-a-my Johnny, rock-a-my Johnny, rock-a-my Johnny.
Greetings, everyone. Today is official. We are going to let you in on our pandemic highs and lows. We have a top 5 list, and we are going to speak to one of my favorite artists. We're going to say he's professional, semi professional. We're going to go to Mr. Theodore Davis.
Yes, ma'am. It is I, Theodore Davis, and I appreciate your support because if you and your mother didn't like me, nobody would.
First of all, you're getting ahead of yourself. No one said mom likes you. Which is a great segue. We are brother and sister. If we're still trying to determine who's the older one, as we clear that up, we'll say we have known each other for my whole life. And to make sure we don't lose you, we are going to explain to you how we bounce through this brother sister language of ours, which gets a little crazy. Some people, and we're going to let the courtroom decide today, some people might call it code switching, but I would like to say I speak professionally in a professional environment. We bounce back and forth between genres, between disciplines, between languages, only because we live in just a multi-dimensional universe. So you have engineer, you have a cartographer, you have a philosopher, you have an artist, you have two people that are serious about education. We also come from California, so we both have very dry dialects. Before we go into anything else, we're going to give you a little fun video about code switching.
You don't have a code switch?
No? How does a code switch work?
Well, it's a little tricky, but let me break it down for you. As a black kid, you gotta learn this handy trick of social self-defense. You switch up your speak and give your manner a tweak depending on the audience. I'll be Will Smith, witty, or cool like Diddy, or affable as you please. Cause when you're young and black, you develop a knack for putting the world at ease. It's called code switching.
All right, so yeah, shout out to Big Mouth and Netflix for that clip. I will ask my brother what he thinks about code switching. Is that your thing? Have you ever code switched before?
Yes, ma'am. However, I didn't start doing the whole code, understanding what code switching was till about 2015. Up until 2015, I thought it was just my phone voice. So every time people were like, "Oh, you sound very proper," I'd be like, "Yeah, just using my phone voice so I can get over."
Got it. Your best CSR voice.
Right? Like, "Hello, everyone. Top of the day to you. I'm glad you all are deciding to enjoy yourselves. Please continue on." As I curtsy and bow at the same time.
I'd like to say, even though I am my authentic self most of the time, this blazer comes with a code. Click, click. As long as you guys understand what we're saying, we will rock from there. We will do our best to translate and slow down so that everybody can pick up what we're putting down for the rest of this ride, if you know what I'm saying.
Absolutely, though.
It's been an interesting year for all of us. It's 2020, right? We definitely are trying to bring this new language and this new budding pandemic experience to the masses in 2021. We have not had an official episode, but this is going to be it. It's going to drop in 2021. We're not going to dwell on 2020 because it was rough. We really don't have that type of time in this show, but we're definitely going to be grateful for it forcing our hands and helping us grow. You know, both of us had a lay low and grow phase, as in, I can't speak for you, but I literally hid from 2020.
My favorite commercial right now is the one where it's like a dating app, and then there's Satan, and he's like all these horns, and Satan shows up, and he's like looking for a date, and then the girl that pops out, he's like, "What's your name?" And she's like, 2020.
We have a match.
We have a match.
We have a match. 2020 and Satan definitely go together. If there were relationship goals, the two of them would be, you know,
them
together.
Them and their bad habits, yeah. Like, yo.
Which is a great segue. I definitely picked up some bad habits during this pandemic. I fall into a rabbit hole or two every day. I have definitely been living in the bowels of the internet. I'm talking not the good stuff. I have been on World Star. I've definitely seen a day or two in Reddit. And those comments, it's just the people are what I'm here for. What habits do you have? I'm talking bad habits.
Well, the bad habits to address in this domain. The bad habit, the worst one I have is the one that is an attack on my ego. You know what I'm saying? The habit I have is the attack on my ego in the sense that every time I get up to go eat, I'm like, I'm only eating because I'm bored. So I'm torn between keeping my six pack and I'm torn between keeping my six pack and then letting it just go to the darn pandemic bad habit list. A commute to the kitchen, and then there's like, do you eat the food on the way back, or do you wait? You get the to eat food. Like, I'm all over the place with that bad habit.
I would love to just subscribe to that set of foolishness. Unfortunately, I don't understand if your bad habit is eating or posting thirst trap pictures on the internet, because both of them are bad habits where I come from.
Yeah, I could see how somebody with a 9 to 5 might say that. However, my bad habit is eating when I'm bored.
Okay, so moving right along, we are not the only ones with unprecedented bad habits during this pandemic. So share your bad habits in the comments /courtroom. We are all in this together. Since we're all here on the internet together, I'm going to allow my bigger baby brother to, you know, talk a little mess, talk a little crazy.
Your gal is dead, and what you reckon that you...
I don't know if you guys have heard, but he thinks he's an artist.
Whoa, ma'am. I am an artist more than just think he's an artist. I am the artiste of the artiste.
So this is where the stuff gets good. Tell us about your background and how you got started as an artist, sir.
Well, I consider myself having always been an artist, but when I decided to begin to take it seriously was more in the city of San Francisco, in the Sunset District, with a crazy group of other artists and yoga type people. We would come together, share our artistic endeavors with one another.
So we appreciate you and your artistic efforts. So tell us about your artwork and your medium.
Well, you know, I'm a multidisciplinary artist, and it really helps me process out the ideas I have in my day job as a philosopher. Well, like, yo, most people be like, yo, artist, philosopher, broker. Like, yeah. However, I make good life decisions. I'm an artist philosopher, damn it. The pieces behind you, the lock pieces, are from a project I did during my graduate program at San Francisco State. The locks have many representations, but mostly I try to figure out how far I can push that representation and how I might be able to say different things with the representation of a lock. Not to mention that a lock isn't a lock, that's a lock that's painted on somebody.
I appreciate that description because I would love to say that I am a professional when it comes to art and that I am an expert. But again, I like what I like. Again, I love the locks. I am about that life. And shout out to all the super secret people that I know that love locks as well. So back to your art. What are you most proud of and what is the plan?
I think what I'm most proud of as an artist is the infrastructure that I've been able to set up. And that infrastructure includes third party vendors, it includes points of sale, it includes professional organizations. And I also, too, traveled the world once or twice with no visible means of support, just on GP. So those friends and family and whatnot all have contributed along the path, and also too moving forward in the future. I hope they um, support me and Dursey as I grow, and that's DURTSEUQ for those of you who might be confused about it. It's the quest, but backwards, something like that. Major quest, however you want to put it.
I would love to be like a real baby older sister and hate on you, but since I know that you may or may not have lived a life as an artist, I'm just gonna have to co-sign for that whole entire thing. We are going to support you. I have already seen your investment portfolio, and by investment, I have seen the people that have invested in you. And I'm just waiting to cash out personally because from what y'all don't know is I own these two pictures. Anybody that helps him helps me because I have no problem selling my brother's work while, while he's alive. If you go out there and see any of these, there's only two buttons you really need to mess with. Add to cart and check out. Those are the two. So, what does art do for your mental health?
I know I have a strong strain of anxiety that goes through my system. And that's the one thing I think that I would focus on in my own personal mental health is trying to decrease that sense of anxiety. And one of the things that my art practice, I won't say the artworks themselves, but the whole art practice needs to be reliable for me to depend on it. And from that reliability and just being able to kind of have a firm understanding of my role in creating that reliability and also manifesting it, I'm able to decrease my sense of anxiety about at least my own direction within the world. I can't do anything about what goes on outside of me, but I can control what I'm going to put out into the world, and that is, through various business endeavors or investments. And it all starts at this idea that an aesthetic lifestyle can be beneficial.
That definitely hits on everything that we've been discussing. We want to encourage everyone to create when they're happy, create when they're sad, create when they're anxious. And we just want to see those creations because art and culture is really what brings a lot of value to the world these days. So, with that, of all of your artwork, what would you consider your favorite? And what can the audience do to help you to promote those works as well?
Well, my favorite piece kind of, it actually moves. My piece is moved with my mood. However, at this precise moment, is a piece called The B-Side. It's more of like a social commentary piece. And I'm writing a poetry book, but that B-side piece is going to most likely be the cover art. People who want to support me, they definitely can go to the third-party vendors. I got a whole list for you, the third-party vendors. We have Saatchi Art, we have Society 6, we have Redbubble, we have Fine Art America, we have Art Please. You can just push pause and rewind. Or there's the ultimate point of sale would be Dursey.com. And you can all help me practice good capitalism. You know what I'm saying? You go there, you pay me, you add to cart, And then we rock from there and tell a friend. Definitely let them know that I'm out there and I exist and I'm interested in meeting you at the intersection of art and philosophy. I'm an artist, philosopher.
This has been a great discussion for the most part.
Your gal is dead, and what you reckon that you'll be dead.
You are one of my top artists. Me and your mother love you. So in terms of my favorite artists, I have a list of top 5, but the one I want to highlight is going to be Toby Nigwe. He is a musical artist. He is a visual artist. And I have seen him do some canvas work. I've seen his stuff on multiple platforms. I found him during the pandemic. Him and the fam have helped me get through the pandemic. I am definitely one of the cousins. I have been welcomed into the family. And anyone who is looking for something interesting and different, you will definitely find it there. The whole thing is solid, and I definitely rock with it. I have the rest of my top 5 list, and I support each and every one of these artists. I have followed them for years and years, and I even have thrown in a new one on here, and I just appreciate their work. It just makes me happy, and it's like I said, I like what I like. I know we both have a top 5, but who would you like to highlight, sir?
Out of my top 5, I would like to highlight Harmonia Rosales. She's a fine artist. She's a fine arts artist. That's kind of hard to say, fine arts artist. She uses Black people in traditional kind of European style paintings. Super interesting background, young African American female. I know right now African American females in art aren't the wave. People need to get on this wave right here because there's so much talent out there, and she's definitely one of them.
All right. Well, before we get out of here, you know I got to shout out my Uncle Earl as a Northern California native.
Hit the liquor store for some alcohol. Earl Stevens wine
I
and
just
some
want to
buzzballs.
remind everybody that Earl Stevens selections are everywhere like air, and you can buy yourself a bottle or more online at earlstevensselections.com. Hurry up and get it. So I hope everyone out there learned a little bit today. We want to see you guys in the courtroom. Give us some details of your favorite artists and where you find them. Also, let us know how you feel about this episode by, of course, liking and hitting that good old-fashioned subscribe button. And we will see you on the internet, episode 2. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, Joe, your gal is dead, and what you reckon that you'll
Can you hear me?
Yes. Check, check. Mic
Breaker,
check.
breaker, 1-9. Girl.
That looks good.
That's how those rabbit holes work, is we just dive off into some banananess.
Did you just say bananas?
Accomplishment.
Is banananess?
Banananess
Bananas?
into banananess is the real word. It is a word that
represents Banananess.
I think you know exactly what it
means.
means.
Like one of those rainbow things. That should be one of those rainbow things from those 2 guys from New York. Banananess.
Shout out to Jesus and Mero, because I'm like, what would your neon sign say? Banananess. we will put it over my head. My neon sign would straight up say banananess. It's a word, sir.
Dear Mr. President, chill with your banananess.
Thank you. I was like, chill and thank you. It's legit. You see how you were able to use it in a sentence? It means it's a real word. People understand it. Since I've last seen you, fun fact, I have become an ordained minister, in which I am able to do weddings, funerals, baptisms and exorcisms for all of you heathens out there. So if you would like any of those services, you are more than welcome to hit me up. But no, seriously.
But at the end of the day, they all got to know I got it from the soil. I got it from the soil.
When I'm at the barbershop, I got my pistol tucked, ready for whatever, just in case. I gotta put a sucker in his place.